Potato, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the cars I see all the time in public servers. Like, ooh, unicorn. So like cars that just everyone uses. The first of which, unsurprisingly, is the most common car in the game. The Fiat Multipla. Everybody who starts the game has one. Everybody. So, it's unsurprising to note that everybody, like, I see these all the time, they are quite common. Because everybody has one. Everybody has one and they're used relatively frequently. At least, especially by new players. Yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise, to be honest. Although, interestingly enough, in a list of cars that everyone drives, I see quite a few people with all the money in the world using these, so... Including me. I don't know why, but I just use these way too often. Yeah, interesting. Let's move on to the next car. You can't say no to this face, can you? So cute. Yeah, so the next car is the Mazda MX-5 Mark 1, the Unos Roadster, I think. It's either the MX-5, the Unos, or the Miata. If you're American, screw the Americans. Oh, and I've lost half my audience thanks to that. I see these so often. All the time. And for good reason. These are extremely cute little cars. I like them a lot. I drive it relatively often as well. He's just so cute, isn't he? You just want to take him in and let him drink some milk from a saucer. Let him sit by the fire. What a cute little car, and I'm so glad I see them all the time because, you know, it's nice to see them being appreciated. Oh, and I've crashed mine. Who's surprised? Next car. The 1960s Chevrolet Impala. I see these all the time. Unfortunately, why is it... Okay, that was interesting. Unfortunately, however, they just tend to get turned into gangstermobiles. They get rubbish specs put on them, usually fully lifted suspension, or blackened. Like, you know, everything black. These cars get bullied all the time by obnoxious owners. Which is a shame, because they're actually quite nice. Of course, the turning is pretty bad. This is 1960s America. Corners are for gay people. I'm kidding. No homophobia. It'd be directed at myself anyway. But seriously. This is a really nice car. And unfortunately they just get picked on for wannabe rappers that just that just want to turn them into stupid lowrider knockoffs. They also do this to the Eldorado, but I still oh yeah, I forgot I've still made my Eldorado Elvis Presley spec. But the Eldorado is much less common. So yeah. Let's move on to something nicer. Yeah, so the next car we're going to talk about is this. The 2015 Ford Mustang. Was it released in 2015 or was it just brought to the UK in 2015? I can't remember. But it's the Ford Mustang GT from 2016. 15. Whatever. Same bloody year. These are everywhere in servers. And it's good because these are actually quite nice. Maybe the body kit's a little bit bad, underwhelming. Like, essentially it's just bigger wheel arches that don't even fit on the car properly. But to be honest, I don't mind these cars. I've been in one before. Like, in real life. The owner was really nice. And I think they're great. It's just, I don't know, there's something about them in CDT that just puts me off. Oh yeah, I know why. It's because these are what's ruining the RTRs. If you have your RTR and it isn't in two-tone, people are like, oh, you're hacking when you destroy them in a drag race. Of course, this isn't the actual car's fault, it's the owner's fault. Need I say anything about this car? No. If you've watched my video on the most overrated cars in CDT, you'll know what my opinions are on this car. They're everywhere, and they're rubbish. Thank you. This right here is referring to an old CDT event. With an old CDT event car. If you can guess what that event is, good on you. You've been around for quite a while. I'll tell you at the end of the video, but for now, let's talk about this car. Not the one in the event, which it's similar to, but not exactly the same. It's the Mercedes AMG G63, and I see them all the time. They are really, really common. They tend to be around at the rally race and for some reason the oval race. I see so many of them at oval race, it's not even funny. If it's the circuit, they back out. If it's the oval, they're like, hell yeah, count me in. It's silly. This car's quite silly as well. See this? Oh, it's standard, that's why. 213 miles an hour. Very fast. And they're just, I do not understand why they are so common. It's not even a very good car. It's more sort of there for memes. And yet everyone's like, wow, yeah, let's drive this. Oh, I just crashed it. It's fine, it was just doing gymnastics. Yeah, this one genuinely baffles me. The community has really poor taste in cars sometimes. Although I do like the G-Wagon. It's very charming. Even if it's a bit Chelsea. If you're British, you'll know what that means. Moving on. We haven't moved on very far, have we? The car right next to the G-Wagon in the shop, the Plymouth Barracuda. Why are these everywhere? Why? They're more obscure than a Charger. They're slower than the Charger police car. And they're worse than pretty much everything around them. I do not see the point in them. Like, they even handle terribly. You'd be better off with a Hellcat. And yes, the people that drive them tend to have Hellcats as well. Why? But these are everywhere, and to be honest, I do quite like them. They're quite a bit more obscure than the average run-of-the-mill Charger or Mustang or Hellcat. I hate Hellcats. They just handle terribly, that's all. They're very much an American car. Straight lines. Thinking corners of a... I can't say that on camera, can I? Yeah, no, America's gonna cancel me. Oh well. Let's move on. Ooh, 360. I've had to actually, move away because of this guy photobombing me in one of these. This is the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. And at the start of this shoot, I had planned on doing it at the dealership. But this guy kept, and this is really annoying, photobombing me in a black and white one of these. Because they're everywhere. Why are there so many common muscle cars? Why? What is the appeal of them? Oh, wait. America. They're American, and so therefore everyone's got them. America, for this, go f yourselves. Although this is a Shelby-made car, so major respect. Major respect. In fact, is it 500? Yeah, it is a 500. Would have preferred the 350R, but alright. Doesn't even drift that well. Oh, it's on slick tyres, that's why. Still an excuse, though. Yeah, this is a car I praise a lot. And for good reason, the Porsche 911 992 GT3. It's an... Damn it, I crashed it already. It's an amazing car. It's also amazingly common. Everybody seems to have these things. Anyone I ask, they're like, yeah, I got a GT3. Yeah, I've got a GT3. I've got a GT3. They're so common. I literally had, and I'm not even joking, a full server car meet, but the only cars we could use were Porsches. I turned up in a 917 Kurtzek. Everyone else used a GT3. They are incredibly common. It's not even silly. They're more common than the cheaper Cross Turismo, the cheaper Carrera, the cheaper 930 Turbo, the cheaper Tycoon. Why? Why do you buy so many of these things? Well, I'll tell you what, they're an amazing car. Absolute recommendation. Highly recommend it. Community, for once you have good taste. Makes a bloody change. And from good taste to bad taste. The Corvette C7. In fact, I'll show you exactly how I find them. And then they also have things like, just... This is exactly how all of them are. Every single one of them. Either that or they've got blue bodies and yellow wheels. Seriously. Oh, because these are always owned by 3-year-olds. Who lift up their suspension, put aftermarket wheels on them, and make the colours horrible. Why do you do this? I mean, this car isn't even good to start with. The C7 just isn't for me. Even if I'd rather have it over a C8. But, really? Why? What? I fail to see why there are 3-year-olds that like lifting cars up. Hold on, let me see if I can actually tip it. No, I can't tip it, but I did just fold the wheel, so that figures. Hold on, I need to detune this. Let's move on. What a surprise! It's another GT Series 911. Why is this one running spike tyres? I don't know. But honestly, if there's a person in a server that doesn't have a GT3, they have a GT2 RS, the 991 version. These things are less common than GT3s, but they are still mind-blowingly common. Seriously. I'm not even going to say much on this. I've said it about the GT3. These things are practically interchangeable. That's why I have them in such similar specs. Moving on. Every single fucking time. All of the times I go to street, in a public server, there's always a dude in a wide-body GTR R35. Sometimes it might not be wide-body, but for the most of the time it is. They're everywhere. At least these are actually good, unlike, our old friend, the Nissan Primera in disguise, the Skyline, and the Toyota Camry in disguise, the Supra. This one isn't bad. Still way too slidey, but this time it's actually controllable. Just slides too much. Like, there we go. Finally getting control of it. But if I go around the corner, oh look, lost grip. Turn into this one. See, trying to spin all the time. It gets on your nerves after not very long. Seriously, community, do better. 2 out of 10. No, I'm kidding. 4 out of 10. Every server has one of these. Every single one. Always a guy driving an SF90. Always. They're not even good cars. They're crap. No acceleration in high gears. Like, it was losing speed up that hill and it was in something like 6th. That's how bad it is. They turn, pretty shockingly. And they're everywhere. They're for people that have just gone, yeah, I've got loads of money. Then instead of doing something sensible like buying a Tesla Roadster, they buy this crap box. Get it out of my sight. No, I'm ignoring it. And the final car I'm going to be showing you today that's just in every single server. The Koenigsegg Regera. Why are they everywhere? Because they've got pretty much the same performance as the Gemera, but they cost a little bit more. But it actually handles better. And that's it. There's pretty much nothing between this and the Gemera, and yet, because everyone goes and buys this, the Gemera's just been pushed into the shadows, while this is everywhere. In fact, I'm pretty sure I posted a picture of this car in one of my earliest daily CDT photos. White Regera on BBS split rims, as I recall. So thank you for watching, and one last thing, the event I showed you earlier. Where's my G-Wagon? Have you worked it out yet? Well, if the G-Wagon hasn't given it away, it was the Eldorado event from the old CDT map. One of the last events on that map. Not the last, that was the Shelby Cobra Barn Hunt, but one of the last. Thanks for watching. I've just realised I've hated most of the cars, so I'm going to go and drive a car I like. My baby, the Tycoon Estate. I will be impressed if any of you manage to guess the G-Wagon Eldorado event. If you did, good job. Have a cookie.